Hello, my friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family. I hope you guys are doing well out there.
I hope you're doing super well out there.
The earth changes just keep rolling on. It's just a never-ending thing. It's the earth changes ramp up, and then we're hitting something new with whether it's the protests, whether it's, protest, riots, chaos. There's just so much going on, plagues, pestilence, famine, you name it, asteroids, comets.
I don't know who's in charge of that notch, but they're moving it up every day.
They are. It's just wild. So we've talked about meteor tsunamis, which we didn't hear much of until maybe about 3 years ago. And so now we have a rare meteor tsunami that was formed in the Chesapeake Bay as thunderstorms rolled through Maryland Monday night. So you see this formed near Tolchester Beach in Kent County, and it's a wind-driven wave. It's a wind-driven tsunami, which, we've seen them up on the Great Lakes as well. The storms are getting stronger. The intensity of everything, it's all going up, up, up. So here we see a big displacement of water. And, thankfully nobody was hurt, but the storm was so strong, it bent a 20-foot steel flagpole.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's just wild. And talking about plagues, we have biblical locust plagues. They're currently ravaging crops and threatening livelihoods on 4 continents. The worst is still to come. And, they're saying that there are trillions with a T, of locusts, an unprecedented threat here. Trillions all over, and they're also in South America and heading up in towards here.
That's just so disgusting. Ew.
They eat everything in sight. Thankfully, they don't eat people.
Right?
Yeah. But what they are doing is just adding to what's going to be the food shortages. And, Cindy and I have a little disagreement on this. She keeps saying, I don't see the food shortages. And I say, I see whole areas in the store when we go shopping that are just empty. So I think it's still one of those things that's building. But it's definitely there.
I'm sure it is. I haven't really seen a lot of evidence of it. I've seen stuff coming in that they're saying there's going to be, but I'm waiting for there to be.
Well, I haven't seen crazy increases in prices yet. I see a lack of selection. Yeah. There's a big lack of selection. And last time we went into the store, the organic section was absolutely pathetic. Everything was kind of rotting. And I don't know if it was just, that one time in that one store, but I have noticed, like when I go look for organic lettuce, there's less and less to choose from. So we bought something that we wouldn't normally, buy, but it was okay. And the price was okay, but just, less, and stuff is starting to look a little crappier. As far as that's just what I noticed. And, you guys feel free to share what you're seeing. Here we see lightning apocalypse, 2 dead in Pennsylvania, 1 in Georgia, 315 deaths in India, more than 300,000 strikes in 24 hours over Australia. The sky is going crazy.
That is incredibly beautiful, though.
It is. And we've seen this. And Bihar surpasses average annual lightning death toll in the first few days of the 2020 monsoon season. Yeah, we still got 5 months left in this year. But records are falling everywhere. And it's not just in one direction, too, as we'll take a look later on in the video. But lightning strikes have killed 147 people in 10 days in northern India.
That's so sad.
Hong Kong. Did you know Hong Kong sits above a supervolcano? And it was formed by a rare mega eruption. So geologists say that Hong Kong sits in the caldera of a supervolcano and is only there thanks to an extraordinary volcanic eruption. So it's one of only about 50 supervolcanoes to have erupted since, they say, man walked the planet, none of which have occurred in our recorded history. And now 140 million years after the event, its existence has been unveiled by geologists who realized what they were looking at the course of their daily survey work. So, hopefully it won't wake up anytime soon, or you'd really have to evacuate a lot of people quick. Pretty interesting geological structures there, aren't they?
Yeah, it must have been something so big they simply couldn't see it.
Deadly landslides, flash floods hit Nepal. Again, it's all over the world that we are seeing these rains. There's videos in here as well. Powerful storms inundate parts of Bulgaria. As you see, she's like holding on to dear life as he's trying to cross there. And in Pakistan, monsoon rains claim at least 7 lives. This is in Karachi. And how many times have we seen this now? People with their cars and motorcycles partially submerged. There's videos here, tiles flying off of a building due to the storm. And those are pretty good sized tiles. Hopefully nobody got hit down on the ground either. And we have 2 months worth of rain triggering deadly landslides in Hubei, leaving at least 9 people missing in China. China's reeling. Japan's reeling as well. And again, in these times, that's going to lead to desperation eventually when, the food supply natural resources dwindling. Of course, we have the plague that's still going on. It's just all mounting up everywhere we look. As you see, there's been a lot of landslides, mudslides, houses, being ruined. Look at that just going on. China is a mess right now. It really is. And so here you can see this is more of China. There's videos again. Severe flash floods claim 8 lives, damaged 2,360 homes in Mongolia, as well as having bubonic plague over there that we're going to keep an eye on. Most definitely. And don't forget, China killed about half of the pig population with swine flu. China is looking at more than 30 days of ongoing rains as floods and other natural disasters continue to devastate the country. As we're looking, and again, this is Wuhan. Wuhan's been beaten up for sure. And of course, we got the whole dam situation that could bust. Some think it could bust at any time if 400 million people are under it, basically. That's crazy. As we see now, jumping over to Japan, severe weather death toll hits 56. Ministry deploys 20,000 troops as disaster widens. And this is northern Kyushu as well. Everywhere we look. And coast-to-coast heat wave may break some records back in the U.S., and it's going to also hurt crops. You see this pattern developing?
No, I do see the pattern. I guess I'm just too focused on looking at the shelves.
It's coming. I mean, and you guys, please do share out there. What are you seeing in your stores? To me, it looks worse. I mean, she's looking at like half full, and I'm looking at half empty. I think, and I'm just seeing that selection's not there. Brands that I would have usually gone to grab are not there. So then you're left with, to me, it seems like we're just left with the more generic choices, like if you're shopping in whatever the store is, their own brand, and then a couple of other big names. I'm seeing really like the smaller stuff. The mom and pop stuff, the smaller companies, I don't see their stuff out there anymore. And there could be a lot of those companies that have, bit the dust, because of the economic situation going on. So we've talked about Arctic sea ice being at like almost around a 20-year low. Antarctic sea ice is greater now than in the 1980s. So that's on the opposite end of this. And as it says here, do you think mainstream media will give you even a hint of this? It's another sign of our changing globe. And Hudson Bay sea ice cover is the same as those in the 80s. So there's a lot of changes going on. It could definitely get you scratching your head, but it's part of everything that we have going on, which is more than just a grand solar minimum. We have a magnetic pole reversal, and, we got the apocalypse. Some think we're in the tribulation. Hard to argue when you look at everything that's happened since the Revelation 12 sign and the eclipse back in August 2017. And meanwhile, in the Southwest, warm spring, renews threat of mega drought. We were talking about this before, and I've seen alerts starting to come up with disaster declarations in certain counties because of drought and even fires. Obviously we got fires going on in some areas too that they don't usually get hit so hard. Now, David Devine and myself had talked before about the long-term outlook and stuff. And, if you look at how it's been in the past when we go through these grand solar minimums, typically the desert will bloom. But perhaps we're still not there yet as far as turning that tide to when things are going to get consistently colder. And when is that going to happen? Me personally, I'm not sure. I thought it might have already started after listening to a lot of the other grand solar minimum people as well. I think a lot of people were thinking we'd be colder now than we are. But then we have geoengineering going on left and right. The skies are always plastered, although at the same time, I've noticed they haven't been as plastered lately with everything, with lockdown and all the stuff. And boy, you're giggling.
No, I'm looking at the sky. It is beautiful. I love to see the blue sky.
So, yeah, have you guys noticed as much engineering going on over your heads? I haven't seen quite as much lately. And there's just so much going on around us. Pink snow in the Alps, it's a bad sign of what's to come as well. And this is, again, caused by, basically algae. And we've seen this in different areas as well. And this is a sign that they're saying goes along with global warming and the still warming process because the algae is blooming and it's not good. So NASA's DART mission may cause the first ever man-made meteor shower because they are getting ready to try to see if they can blast and nudge asteroids out of the way of a potential Earth-bound impact. Or are they telegraphing something there?
Yeah, I mean, why would they need to test and see if it works?
Well, just in case there was a NEO.
Interesting.
NEO, near Earth object, right? Okay. So just so you know, like the lingo there, and something that was coming in that looked like it would potentially be another dinosaur killer, except for this time it would be a human civilization killer. So, they're getting ready, see if they could blast one out of the way. However, they might end up blasting something and giving us a little bit of a shower. And talking about NEO. Comet C2020 F3 NEO-WISE. And again, NEO, part of it stands for near Earth object. And it's shining bright. We saw the photos a couple days ago of the ISIS, well, not ISIS, but the International Space Station, and not to lucent clouds. So is this Nostradamus' comet, perhaps? And, there's been a lot of prophecies. Some think that the Dragon, a Mother Shipton, is a series of comets. Maybe it is. Well, we got everything going right now as far as Nostradamus' prophecy. And we definitely have a plague upon the land, and we have rumors of wars, and you name it, we got it. And we do have a comet. So it is visible, and it's going to be visible pretty much the rest of this month in the northern hemisphere. And so as we see, the comet will remain in the dawn sky until around the 11th and then become visible again, this time in the evening sky around the 16th, as we see it coming up from under. And, is there any debris that we're going to go through? We'll have to see. We will have to see if this is spectacular or a dud, but it is visible. So, interesting times. As we talked about the bubonic plague, Russia's reacting to it. They've been closing the border. They're catching and testing rodents as well. There are some that say this is part of this something to watch. Keep your eyes open as being a potential part of the bigger picture with what else is going on right now. So this is out of urban survival. The one plant everybody should be growing, garlic. God, I love garlic. Have to admit, I've been lazy lately. I have, several big heads of garlic, and the last couple times I just reached for the jar where it's already minced, and that kind of goes against my grain, but we've been so busy, so it's kind of handy. And at the same time, you could probably store your own garlic too for long-term use. Garlic is key It's so healthy. It's a blood purifier, as are onions. It's can be used as a natural gum disease fighter as well. Help with toothaches. Use it as a mouthwash, although nobody might want to kiss you, unless they've been eating garlic too. Common cold definitely helps with that. Anti-inflammatory, antioxidants in garlic can help eliminate and soothe skin rashes, even psoriasis, yeast infections, cold sores, splinters. Believe it or not, you could put garlic over where the splinter is, tape it on, wrap a piece of tape or bandage. About 30 to 60 minutes, the swelling and the pain around the splinter should subside, exposing the splinter more readily so you can pull it. Help with acne, athlete's foot as well. Pest control. And, we were getting stuff that was getting eaten by lizards, and we threw some onions out there, and that has actually worked.
Yeah, it actually worked, which I'm super grateful for.
So lots of uses. And everybody, I want to just thank everybody out there that's been supporting us with Patreon. That's definitely been helping us keep going with the message. And also on Ko-Fi as well, where you could do a one-time support, or you could do monthly just like Patreon. And so do keep sharing your thoughts and your ideas and what you guys are doing. Please do join us over on our Discord as well. That's been growing and people are getting support over there, which is a beautiful thing. As always, guys, stay prepared. God bless and namaste.
Namaste.